I know her name. I've been working with her at that point for a few years, right, Sophia?
Yeah.
And I slotted it, didn't I, Sophia?
Yes, things happen. We're live.
And we are live. So
so
welcome everybody. Welcome to the W.I.L.D podcast, where we dive into conversations that matter. I'm Diana Kouprina, and I'm here with my brilliant co-host. She will appear shortly, Ashton Lauren Ryan. This week, we're thrilled to have Cynthia Hudson, creator of Aspire magazine, and Cynthia Zuniga, fashion director of Aspire magazine, as our keynote discussion speakers. Join us as we explore inspiring insights and powerful conversations live on Jess TV, Roku TV, 101 TV, NCT Television Network, Fire TV, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or at www.jessfm.ca. W.I.L.D, the podcast, is proudly sponsored by W.I.L.D, the nonprofit dedicated to a vision of better tomorrow. For more information, please visit wildthenonprofit.com. We are sponsored by W.I.L.D Homes and Gardens magazine, presented by Jess TV, and supported by viewers like you. Stay tuned as we dive into what we love doing right here on W.I.L.D. Hi, Cynthia. And Cynthia, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
And I'm just going to jump into the midst of it and just go with what really inspired you to create Aspire magazine.
Aspiring magazine. Well, that's a good point. So years ago, I had a modeling agency for 31 years, and I had partnered up with a gentleman years back, and he brought this magazine to me, and we were going to work together on it. And he decided, you know what, I'm not going to go forward with it. And literally, I'm like, well, I was slammed. I had 4 offices at that point, my modeling agency. I said, I don't have time for a magazine. So years later, when I had decided that it was time to move on from the modeling agency, I'm like, you know, I really want to get back into that magazine thing. I had no experience, and I just went with it. And it was going to be Aspire, but it was already taken the name. So I named it Aspiring, because Aspire was the name of my talk show for 7 years. So that's why I wanted to call it Aspire. And then we had like Aspire YouTube, but we switched it to Aspiring, and that named it Aspiring, launched it, and it's been around since 11 years. So that's where it all began.
Wow, 11 years.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the hardships, the struggles, the development? Because that 11 years is a long time. You must be well into your developed stage of the magazine.
We've had 29 issues. It has been a struggle. People think that you have everything, right? You don't have it all. And it's not like that. I started locally, and then I said, you know what? I'm not, though I love everybody, I'm not getting anywhere locally. I just need to do something. So I connected with a company the biggest company in the country called Comag, but they show themselves as they connect you with all these stores. So, but that actually, they're really a front for a marketing company. So that you pay a fee up front, and then you're in 10,000 stores. So you pay all this money out I was 6 times a year on 10,000 shelves in this country as well as Canada, and they were doing very well. We were selling out, and I was just getting into the celebrities in Hollywood. But what happened is, after a year and a half of putting out 30,000, 40,000 per issue, and I know we were selling out throughout stores, the in-between person, the stores were paying them, they forgot to pay me. So that was a struggle. And so after a year and a half, I said, I can't keep doing this. Unless you want to hit me over the head with a brick every time, it was foolish. So I said, I'm not putting it on the shelves anymore. I don't care what you guys say. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it my way. So I kept going with the celebrities. I was shooting out Dominican as well. Charlotte, I've interviewed a lot of celebrities out of Dominican. And I started getting more into the celebrities out in LA, and started building a team out there. And I started building up spas, and I got the approval for like all Caesars properties. I picked up a chain of stores out in New Jersey and Georgia. So it slowly built that way. And then it's just actually felt like it was rebranded, and it's building itself now. I have partnered with the Hollywood Times, my sister company, and so she's constantly sending me all those red carpet stuff in New York, because obviously they're in Hollywood. They know I'm on the East Coast. And then my other sister company, Bionic Buzz, So we're all very familiar with the red carpets out in Hollywood, and we just a stronger presence on every like red carpet, movie premieres, Oscars, Grammys, Emmys. I partnered with all the Emmys, so as a media correspondent, so I'm now affiliate, my official magazine for them. What else? So
That's
there's
a
a
lot.
lot.
So
It
that's a
is.
lot. Congratulations, but that is a lot of accomplishments.
I don't know about that.
I think I like to think once you get to the Oscars, right, you can take a breath and give yourself the kudos.
Well, if it wasn't for people like Sophia that like because we have New England Fashion Week, I love it. It's our 10th year. It's my baby. But if it wasn't for people like Sophia that step in or step up to the plate and actually take charge of everything, it wouldn't be happening this year. To have someone like her, I'm very grateful.
So Sophia, tell us a little bit about what you love doing, and I know it's fashion, and just tell everyone a little bit about the New England fashion shows that you guys do, because we do air live in the U.S. and mainly Canada, so a lot of people wouldn't even.
Oh, you're in Canada? That's awesome.
Yeah, so a lot wouldn't even know what we're talking about. I'm personally in Boston, so I know the New England fashion show. I walked in it a few years back. I want to say for me personally, it was a really healing experience. I was I was really recovering, trying to regain myself, and I did have crazy fantasies of being a model, although I'm not a model. Um, and I just had such a great time walking it. It just really boosted my confidence, and I really appreciate it. So, Sophia, it's you. Can you just tell us a little about how you fell into it, how you began to do what you love doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. And Cynthia, I appreciate the compliment. I love what I do. I love working with models. I love working with designers. So, it's just exhilarating for me. I've been modeling since I was 12 years old and, really recognized that I love being on the runway and in front of the camera, but I really wanted to understand how the mechanics kind of work behind and really started to develop myself as a trainer, as a manager, as a coach. And when I met Cynthia in 2021, we were just able to just see eye to eye about my passion with fashion and hers with fashion and team up together. So working on the New England Fashion Week has been an amazing experience. Every year we have anywhere from 70 to 100 models that we're able to work with. Some are returning faces, some are brand new. Some are like you, Diana, where they recognize that they may not ever be that editorial model just because of height alone.
Yeah.
But we give everyone the opportunity to participate. So it's a very inclusive kind of show that really allows the viewers to see themselves on that runway, to see themselves in the designer's collection. Because sometimes what happens is when you see that model-esque woman, you as the everyday person get a little bit intimidated and say, could I wear that? Would I rock it the same way? So having a show that allows inclusivity, I think really allows the designers to be able to uh, hone in to all the different viewers and types of buyers that are out there. So again, it's an amazing experience. The models love working, with us. The designers are awesome. You just see things from every realm, from African inspired print to Indian inspired designs to what one guy Marvin calls his line, the everyday line.
Puerto Rico.
Right, there's no zippers, there's no buttons. It's every day. You slide it on. It's comfortable. So it's lovely for me personally that every year we get some returning designers, we get some returning models, and then we always bring in some new faces, which is just awesome with the idea of continuing to network and really allow New England to get its rightful place on the map when it comes to fashion and modeling, right?
Yeah, New England really does
never getting that
never had that
respect.
place. It's always, of course, well, California, sure, and New York, but
And
Miami, fine, but
yes.
Boston.
we don't get the same amount of love and respect. So, the idea is, like I said, we're building this vision of inclusivity, and then understanding and respecting the fact that there is a certain level of standard when we want to do, take things to that next place. So we have that nice variety of models from your 5'4" to your 5'10", Model S. We have plus size curved models. I mean, it's just really an amazing experience.
Can you talk about what really the behind the scenes, the how, the creation, because that's where most of everybody sees the finished process, and there's a lot of hard work that goes into the behind the scenes. So can you
Oh yeah.
explain a little bit, well, maybe in better, greater detail, what that really looks like?
Um, yeah, I'll let Cynthia speak on her side of things, but for me as the model coordinator, there are those days where, like right now, I've got models who are like waiting for me to send out the list of who they're gonna walk for on Friday and Saturday shows. So there's that kind of pressure of really being able to work closely with the designers, and understand that a lot of designers have full-time jobs. So being able to coordinate with them, get the list of the models they want to work with, get that list onto paper, and then you have to then create a show flow that is going to actually work, right? So if, for example, you pick me as a model and I'm in 4 scenes, I can't have those 4 designers back to back because those models won't have enough time to transition. So there's a lot that goes into
And
being
not to interrupt, there's nothing like I can't stand is dead ear on the stage.
right, right. So there's a lot of coordination that goes with being detailed oriented. Watching the names. So it's taking, that's one like, and when you're dealing with 100 models, and you've got 15 designers, putting all those pieces to the puzzle together is not hard work, but it's very detailed. And so sometimes it takes longer than you expect. So that's like my, like,
I feel it is hard work. I mean, not anybody can organize 15 designers. You've got to make sure they match up. So,
And
like,
models.
Kosher has enough time to change, to get into Renew's designs, to get into Erica's designs. And some, even though we might have volunteers backstage, we might not be able to change them quick enough. And I'm not allowed really backstage.
We ask her as the owner to stay up front and do what owners do, snooze, network, etc.
Because I'm so high strung, I scare people sometimes. Because I'm like, let's go, gotta go. So my energy's running.
Yes.
I feel
And
you.
I've developed, I have a strong team that supports me backstage. Family is family, so it's built of my cousins, my mom, and so they are our right hands for backstage, and we just allow, it runs smoothly. I mean, it really does, and we have some performers as well. So I just want to make sure people know that yes, this is about fashion. It's about modeling. We've got makeup artists, hairstylists, but we also have performers. So we're gonna have, we have some singers. We have someone of Indian descent who's going to dance. It's just gonna be awesome. In addition to that, we've got vendors. So we love to shop the vendors, but the most I think right now for me, I'm just feeling so passionate about one, the fact that it's our 10th anniversary, and I've had the pleasure of being around since 2021. So I feel awesome about where we're at. But the
4 years.
that it is a benefit for the Children's Hospital, and for those that maybe have children, are from the New England area, have nieces, nephews, at some point, Children's Hospital has played some kind of role in your life, in your child's life. I have children. All 3 of my children have received services from Children's Hospital. Our host, Priscilla, has a connection. Our other host, Erin, her nephew had surgery through them. So it's just such a very near and dear cause to add to this love of our fashion and modeling and the entertainment industry.
Oh, That is wonderful. I was you had me with the Children's Hospital because personally, I'm a big fan of the children. My daughter goes to the Children's Hospital. Dentistry we do at the Children's Hospital, and it's funny because one of the fashion shows that I ever did was also for Children's Hospital, and it sounds like such a beautiful cycle. So I will definitely root come and cheer you guys on Saturday.
Remember that there is a board and they have work time too. I don't know if Sophia did say that. And please respect, I want to apologize ahead of time, is my phone's been blowing up and I've been respectfully trying to ignore it. And I've been telling, blocking people to not listen to it. But there is a board of directors and they have work time behind the scenes. And there's Renew, and Jeannie and Mariana and Michaela and Sophia. And I want to say that. That's all.
Oh, that's wonderful. And in 1 minute, I want to get back to you, Cynthia, and you're behind the scenes. But for right now, for anyone who's just tuning in, welcome to the W.I.L.D, the podcast, where we dive into conversations that matter. I'm Diana Kouprina, and I am missing my brilliant co-host Ashton Ryan, but I do hope her little baby is starting to feel better and maybe she can join in shortly.
I hope so. We got this.
But we got this, and right now we're here with Cynthia and Sophia. Cynthia is the creator of Aspiring Magazine, and Sophia is the fashion director. And we will continue to explore on how they do what they love doing. So tune in, listen in, and we will continue the show live on Jess TV, Roku TV, 101 TV, NCG Television Network, Fire TV, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or at www.jessfm.ca. While the podcast is proudly sponsored by W.I.L.D, the nonprofit dedicated for a vision of better tomorrow. We are sponsored by W.I.L.D Homes and Gardens Magazine and supported by viewers like you. So, Cynthia, can you take the lead and lead us into what your behind the scenes looks like? And you as the creator, the CEO, when you
want to create any event, even a fashion week or any event, there's a lot of planning. You're putting a board together, putting a team together, reaching out, finding designers, coordinating that, doing casting calls, organizing the casting calls. We did 2 virtually this year to save us some time, and they worked out well. So, you're having hundreds of people try out. There's planning of looking for vendors, looking for sponsors, looking for a location that's going to work, that's not too far from Boston, but is in the Boston area, because it is called New England Fashion Week. Do we need 3 nights? Do we need 2 nights? We were going to do a cruise on a Thursday night, but it didn't make sense. If the weather's bad, then we would have been screwed. Nobody wants to go out in cold weather. Well, we would have just lost half our audience. And we got to make sure you sell so many tickets to cover the cost. It's very costly to have a cruise. So we have to make sure that it makes sense for everybody, make everybody happy, making sure that we're getting it out to the press. So there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes to make a fashion week happen. It just doesn't happen. You just don't snap your fingers. There's a lot of organizing. Sophia said that matching models up to designers and matching it up so they don't mesh because they're going to be dead air, and making sure we bring talent in to break up the designers to give us some time. And don't make it go too long because though they love a good show, they're not going to sit there for so many hours. So we try to get it down to 3.5 hours after it. Making sure the vendors get their love because they're paying a spot, So there's just so much. So I'm in charge of the overall picture and checking in with this. How's that going? How's that going? How's that going? How's that going? So I'm making sure everybody. How's that going? How's that going? Can you give me an update on that? Can you give me an update on that? Hey, Sophia, can you just give me an update on that? So I'm constantly moving, shaking, making sure, everything's moving. Make sense?
That makes sense to me. And do you love it? I think is my next question.
That is a good question. Um, I don't even know how I ever got started in the fashion week thing. When I ever started it, I never thought I'd get 1,000 people in my first show, right? Chronicle used to cover and stuff, and it was amazing, and I loved it, because I love fashion. If anyone that follows my page, I do yays and nays every day. I just love fashion, right? And
I
so,
love when you do them. I do. I
well,
love
I had one person that was working for my magazine thought I was bringing my magazine to the gutter because I do yays and nays. I'm sorry, when Vogue and Glamour do it, it's not, it's bringing them to the gutter. So, and I said, well, I'm not going to stop doing it. So I enjoy it. It's just something to take your mind off politics, or there was a shooting, or there was a bombing. You're taking
Yeah.
your mind off everything. Yeah, I actually like that, and that's the only purpose of doing it. When people get nasty about the person themselves or the model, that's when I have a problem with it, and that's when I shut it off. But getting back to the Fashion Week, I do love it, and I do love the hustle of it. But I felt, I guess, more strain this year because of as my life gets busier, right? Because I own a skincare line and stuff, so it just gets busier. So next year, I think one really good event makes sense, and then we'll see about a second night, but one really good event, and I'll like it back. I think that I do like it, but I just this year I felt a lot more strain. Does that make sense?
Is the skincare gonna be supported with New England Fashion Week? Would they work together?
Who?
Do you think your skincare line? Because
Oh,
obviously
he'll
mine
be
is
there, my
there.
formulator. I
Yes.
have a formulator, he'll be there that day.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But it's a very high end. I mean, it starts at 129, goes up to 179, so per jar, so it's a little more high end. So I
Right.
sell, yeah. So, but they will be there, and I won't be running the table. I don't have time. But my formulator will be there, and Sophia can attest for it's very good, right, Sophia? You like it, huh?
Yes, absolutely, I do. I wanted to just stop for 30 seconds and just correct something, Diana, because I don't want to take credit from someone else. I am not the fashion coordinator for the magazine. I do give some support in creating ads and pages for Cynthia, but I am the model coordinator, liaison to the designers for Fashion Week specifically.
Oh,
So
just okay. I'm
so I don't
sorry.
want to
I'm
take
Oh, I
sorry.
credit.
do apologize. I missed that. Sorry, Sophia.
I
Thank
don't
you.
want to take credit away from anyone that like her supports for the magazine are amazing, and so I don't want anyone to watch this and go, she took credit. I specifically right
No,
now
I'm sorry. I
for
should have
Fashion Week.
clarified before I
No
ran with
worries,
it.
The
no worries.
majority of my team is now in LA. So I have
For the
I have people in
magazine.
New York, Nashville, and Virginia, and New Jersey, but the majority of my team are in LA for the magazine.
Is the magazine available in both U.S. and Canada?
Not no more. Not since I left that company. They
Oh,
owe
I
me
see.
thousands and thousands of dollars. I did very well in Canada because I like Lisa Guerrero, Lori Gilman, Rebecca Staub. They're all like from they're big celebrities in Canada, and they were on my covers, and so it sold out of all the stores in Canada. But I never got
Hmm.
the money.
Oh,
So
wow.
when you're paying out that much money every issue, and you're not getting the money back, and that middle person's keeping it, it weighs on you. So that, but I'm doing it right now. I have small stores. I have boutique hotels in Hollywood. There are stores that are picking it up and selling it. So I have different stores, spas like in Arizona and Colorado and
Hmm.
Utah, Washington. So I have places all around the country
And it's
now. But I'm
available
doing it my way.
online as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's
online
also
too.
available
Yeah.
online.
Well, I do a lot of business online. Yeah.
How do you find that doing a lot? Does it simplify your life? Technology, doing it online magazine. Um,
I like print.
you prefer print?
That's how I got in with the Emmys. The Emmys, just the president liked it so much that presenting it to the Oscars and the Grammys. I have gotten on the parties, but not actually on the red carpet yet, right? And because I don't have a lot of likes on Instagram for the Aspire magazine, and like Tabitha said from the Emmys, we know you don't have a lot of likes, but we like that you had a hard copy. And so
Yeah.
then the president signed off on my hard copy. And with that, and now they're all of it. Now I get invited within overnight. And my email's blown up for all these invites to cover because they might not like the likes, but they like that the hard copy and what I produce. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. How do you feel about the whole Instagram marketing and the
Well, I paid
getting
thousands of
likes?
dollars to people, and they got me 2 likes. So that's a
Oh
source of,
wow.
and that's to people that said I can get you followers. I know what I'm doing, and I felt like it was a con. I'm not saying who they are or what they do, but I know. And then then you get them every day. I get 4 people a day. I can get you 50,000 followers. Well, they're gonna be fake, and the freaking Oscars are gonna know that, or the Grammys or the Emmys, they're gonna know they're fake. Like, why
Yeah.
would you pay for that? They're bots, BOTS, right?
Hmm.
So I haven't done it yet, and so I guess it has hurt me. But on the other hand, I feel, I'm trying to do it the right way. I don't know what is the right way. I don't know the right way.
So you're just going with it. Honestly, I don't know if
Right.
anyone really knows the right way. There's certain things that might work and certain things that might not work. I personally always had trouble with branding anything on Instagram. I don't know why. For me, Facebook was easier, but maybe I'm just part of the older generation.
Well, Facebook. I've had a lot more luck. Like, let me give you an example. Instagram, I have like 8 accounts, right? I don't know that many, but I have at least 6, right? So I will share across the board all the models that are in the show, right? So I've been doing it individually on Instagram because it's that age group, right? Compared to I'll put it in one gulp and share across all my accounts on
Hmm.
Facebook. Well, I was doing it for a couple days. Instagram stopped me from doing that. And they said, you're looking for likes or followers. We're not allowing you to post. So I'm in Instagram jail right now and cannot
Oh
post.
wow!
And
I
I've
never
heard of
even
that.
I never
I've
even
heard of
knew
Facebook,
that.
right? Facebook jail. I'm in Instagram jail right now.
Wow! I didn't know Instagram had a jail.
I didn't either. I learned. And they go, we deleted your post again. We deleted your post again. I'm like,
But
whatever.
it's so funny because then there's like scam marketers who get through all the algorithm,
Oh,
and I'm always baffled by
and
seeing their
how do they?
posts and the quality of their posts, and I'm comparing it, and it's just I
And then
don't
you get
get it. I don't get
these dirty
how they
pictures.
slither
And
through it or how it works.
exactly.
I'm just baffled by it at this point.
What about you, Sophia? Do you have that kind of trouble?
I'm still, learning how to navigate social media as part of marketing and understanding the
I get you.
algorithms and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I haven't done any like financial investment at this moment because I'm still learning something, so I'm not ready to throw money at it if I don't understand how I'll see the return. But you're right, Diana. Like both of you are right, but Diana hit a point like how do these scams like their quality is like amazing and you're like but you're not even real so
Exactly.
I'm and I think I'm like what you said, Diana, like kind of that older generation that I just much rather have a conversation with you. I'd much rather just pick the phone up and let's talk this through. Let's meet at the cafe and have some tea and crumpets and just have a conversation. So I'm learning how to really understand how to take, I guess, what would be in a conversation, and then how do you take that and put that on your Facebook or your social, your social media, so that people are still able to have that connection without actually meeting with you. But it hasn't been an easy navigation for me. I'm still like I said, I'm old school all day. I'd rather show up at an event and talk to you for hours. So that's been working out for me for the interim as I continue to learn. I try to take, we take workshops. I have a great team that works with me. And so we try to take workshops whenever they're available so that we're continuing to learn and grow.
Is there anything you learned that you can say has been sort of potent? For me personally, I'm with you. I don't like to put down money to market myself. I do it all on my own organically. It's something I just have to prove to myself that I can actually establish because yes, it's hard, but you always have to know your audience and how that's the big thing. Who do you want to reach? Why do you want to reach them? Um, and where to find them because that's the hard part. And
Right,
then there's
and
the
also if
food.
you have 2 generations. I have 2 generations
Yes,
of my
yeah,
clientele, 'cause, like, I work with, like, daytime TV shows, right? And I work with primetime TV shows, so, like, I have different people that like The Bay, everyone loves The Bay. Well, I love The Bay too, and so, some people don't know The Bay, but then they might know General Hospital, right? But usually it's an older crowd that watch General Hospital and Finding, right? So I deal with, like, 2 different crowds, 2 different age generations, right? So it's like, how do you market to them when you have 2 different age brackets, right?
right. How do
Like,
you?
I don't know.
Well,
Like,
that's
if
what
you
you
show
have
up
to
at one of my events in LA, Hollywood, you'll come to the like when you walk in, you're gonna see a whole group of older, mature people, right? Excuse me, mature people. Then you're gonna see another whole group of like, what are they called? Influencers,
Oh
right?
yes, yes.
Is that the correct word? And all young ones, they're like, do you know who that is? I'm like, no, I don't have a clue. Well, she has 5 million followers and she's following you. I'm like, that's awesome. I have no clue about those influencers. And no respect to them. I just don't know that generation, right?
Right.
So I have to educate myself more to learn about these bloggers and influencers. They come to my event, they're younger, and I bring, it brings them, my magazine brings them to the young generation in LA and Hollywood, and they love to attend. But honestly, I don't know how to market the 2 different age brackets. I don't. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
a couple of things I picked up, again, still learning how to navigate effectively, is that one, you have to have different marketing materials for each age bracket that you're working with, even if it's the same event, right? So, for example, looking at, let's just look at New England Fashion Week. If you go and you look us up, you're gonna see that we've got like 3 or 4 different types of flyers because we were attempting to try to engage the different audiences that we work with and that we want to have. So some have more writing in it because people are readers; they want to be able to, read what's happening. Others have more pictures because they're visual, learners. And so having a couple of photos is just enough to engage them. So that's definitely one thing that I picked up is that you have to have different materials for the different groups you're trying to attract. The other thing is hashtags are apparently very important. Hashtag, think about the three to 3 to 10 things that you're trying to promote. So, with Fashion Week would be hashtag fashion, hashtag models, hashtag native, because that's where the event's going to be, hashtag verb hotel, because that's where the event will be hosted at. So, really making sure your hashtags kind of can break down what your overall message is. And then the last thing that I got from it was really being consistent. Now, consistency doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do this every single day. But if you've decided that you're someone that's going to post 3 times a week, then you need to stay consistent with that 3 times a week. If you're someone that can only do one, again, stay consistent. It doesn't again have to be the same day either. It doesn't be every Tuesday I have to post. But if you're considered, if you've gotten your followers accustomed to seeing at least 3 to 5 posts in a week, then that's what you have to make sure you're doing. Now, there's a lot of things out on the market now where, like, there's content calendar creators, things that will help people, especially entrepreneurs, but anyone that's just trying to, think about branding. There are these, little calendars that can help you figure out what you could be posting and then give you some ideas on what days of the week are good to post. So it's almost like having another job. Yeah, like that's like
Right.
really
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
it's like
It is
having
a full-time job.
like it really is. It's like a whole nother job, and like you respectfully understand the generation that has been able to take it under their wings, put it in a headlock, and run with it. Like,
Yeah.
I get nothing but respect. Because again, I'm not
But
sure
do
you're
those
able
younger generation have full-time jobs and do that? I mean, how do people balance? What your advice is dead on, and I agree with you, right? I totally agree with you. But how does somebody with a full-time job or is running a business, how do they stay consistent and do that? I know I can't, and I know I never do hashtags because I stink at that. Like I totally stink at that, and
hashtags
I admit it. How do people do it?
Well, what I've gotten is the fact that both Instagram and Facebook allow you to pre-program your post, so you can go in and say I wanted to post at this day on this day. So for a lot of people that I talk to, they're doing it when it's their bed hours, right? So now the day is over, they've taken a shower, they grab, they're in the bed, and instead of watching TV for 20 minutes, they put together maybe one or two posts and program it of when it's going to go out.
For the next
So
day?
that again comes with that's dedication, right? That's having a schedule.
That
That's
is
really like
dedication.
that is
I
so.
like that.
But that's kind of the thought process of just finding that available moment and saying, okay, I know for me on a personal level, I'm a 3 times a week. That's as much as I'm able to really mentally commit to. And then I try to jot down at the beginning of the week maybe a couple of things that I might want to share. Maybe it's an
Right.
event that I'm hosting, or it's a fun fact that I want to share, or sometimes it's just a good old affirmation that I want to give away. So I try to sit down like on a Sunday, Monday, and say, okay, what are 3 things that I want to try to get out this week, and then I try to build that content. Some days it does. It could take me 2 days to build the content. I sent something out earlier today because we went and did something, and it took me 2 hours to put together this reel because I'm very particular about what song is going to go with the photos and what order of the photos is it going to go. And that
Wow,
kind of
you're
just
good. I could never do that. I
you know
just choose
that's
any
that
song.
creative side of saying like
You're incredibly organized with it.
well, I want it to be
Yeah.
received, right? I want you to receive it in the manner that I was trying to give it. And so I know sometimes
Portray it. I get that.
we could talk it through, you would get the vision, and one photo would do enough. But because I'm not there to explain it, I'm trying to really put all these pieces of the puzzle together so that it is received in a manner that it was supposed to. And it's not easy work. Like I said, I give hats off to those that do this as a full-time job and then still have a full-time job, or they have children, a husband, wife, and kids. It is real dedication, but we've seen others and reap the benefit of that dedication. So if we could even
Yeah, I
give
mean, like, yeah,
half of
you can
that
make a
in,
living off of it.
you're gonna feel some of that, coming back to you. But like I said, you just have to know your audience and then be able to attempt to attract. And there's no like, set class. I literally took a marketing class in college, and they give you a lot of kind of generalizing,
Right.
really.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I took from that
The
class
4
was
Ps.
know your
Yeah,
market. Yes,
Yeah.
right. Know your market.
I actually taught the 4 Ps at Suffolk a couple of years ago. I did. I worked with a subject professor, a marketing professor.
That's
and
awesome.
I taught the 4 Ps.
Oh, I
told
did that
them
anyway.
and was thinking how it relates now to even just how I try to brand myself as an author on Facebook. I don't know if the 4 Ps really were that.
Don't you think like that old school? Like, I mean, they still teach it.
Yeah, the 4 Ps.
I mean, I went to college in my 80s. You know what I mean? I mean, I went to Endicott, then I went to Northeastern, and honestly, they still
They're
teach
still
it.
there.
I don't know, because the generation has changed so much, and social media has changed things so much, that I don't know if the 4P, they are adamant those 4Ps still work, but I think they're going to be fluffed a little, you know what I mean?
I think they need to be changed. They need to be revisited. And again, now we have
generation.
we're such a you can be from home and reach other people in their house, and you're not thinking about television, right?
Yeah.
With internet, we have an array of ways to reach people. And I think at the end of the day, it comes down to communication and consistency and finding that tribe. And what I like about Facebook personally is that you can find your tribe, but it's a lot of work and you gotta really go into these groups. For me, my niche is
I've gone to thousands of them, 2,000 groups.
right? You
2,000.
join the groups, post in groups. Sometimes people get sick of you and they stop. They don't allow it. So what I realized, what I did was create my own groups.
Yep.
Well,
I
again,
have quite
with
a few.
that in mind, you need to really go through that friend list. You gotta clear it up. You gotta reach out to the people you want,
I know.
and then create your own groups and then spread the love.
Well,
So
one of the
that's-
things, yeah, I think it's tough is even in those groups, I might have like 15,000, 20,000 in the group, but maybe 50 might respond.
Yeah, because only remember you're limited because again, Facebook loves it when you pay Meta. The company loves it when you give it money. So to boost your post,
And
right,
they
you
take
want
false
money.
money, this
But if
media.
you want to do it for free, expect to get 10% of the people that you reach, right? Responding back. Only 10% because you're not even reaching the full potential you could be reaching because you're blocked because you're not putting in the financial boost my post $35 or whatever it expects you to do. I don't do it because I just get mad and I'm like, no, people deserve to have voices and they shouldn't be paying for this. Like that it's just my little anger that happens. I think that everybody, if you have quality to present, then everybody should have an opportunity to have
Right.
that presentation. It shouldn't matter if you're putting in 0 or 35, right?
I totally agree with you, believe me, because I paid for ads that I didn't even approve, and I'd be going through my PayPal, and I'm like, I didn't agree to this ad. So I had over $400 worth of charges from the that I didn't even put ads on through Facebook. I
Yeah,
think we only have like 3 minutes left, right?
yeah,
Is that
3
right?
minutes. And I was gonna say in those 3 minutes, please
Can we just say
tell the viewers how to connect with you, where to watch the fashion show. I'm sure you will be posting
And-
little videos and
Sophia, yeah, we got like 2 minutes left. Sophia, real quick, we got 2 minutes
Absolutely.
left. I'm gonna let you run with it. And can you please allow Sophia to say what agency she owns and the training school?
oh yes, please, everything,
Oh.
everything you want. Also, message it to me, so when I'm writing it up for our website, I can give the right proper credit where it's due and deserved.
So I am Sophia Sanyika. I'm the proud owner of Sanyika Modeling Talent, which is why Cynthia asked me to come in and be the model coordinator and liaison to the designers. So again, Sanyika Modeling Talent. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. You can just search for my name, Sophia Sanyika, and you'll find all the lovelies. When it comes to New England Fashion Week, same thing. You can Google New England Fashion Week on Facebook and on Instagram. Our 10th annual anniversary benefiting the Children's Hospital will be held on Saturday, September 14th at the Verb Hotel in Natick, Mass. We are having a pre-dinner show at the Sugar Factory and Faneuil Hall on Friday, September 13th between 5 and 8 p.m. So those that book a dinner reservation will get a teaser, lovely sample of a few of our designers and some of the
Where can they
designs
get tickets?
in their newest collection. Tickets can be purchased on Eventbrite under New England, again, 10th annual New England Fashion Week. So check us out, Eventbrite, mark your calendar. September 13th, we'll be at the Sugar Factory, and on the 14th, we'll be at Verb Hotel in Natick, Massachusetts.
And Diana, thank you so much for having us. We
Models,
appreciate it.
designers, entertainers, you gotta come, you gotta come, you gotta come.
All right.
Well, it's my pleasure to have had both of you. I'm sorry Ashton missed this. I feel like we might have to have you guys on again. We
Absolutely.
can do separate because I can talk fashion and I can talk magazines. I actually wanted Cynthia to connect you with Ashton because both of you are such creators of two such wonderful magazines, and I wanted
Oh, which one is she on? That's amazing.
she has the W.I.L.D homes and gardens. So it's a little bit
Oh, I never
different
heard of it.
away from
Amazing.
fashion,
Well, I love
but
it.
it's very artistic, poetic,
I
and I
love
just got my
it.
copy, and I was hoping to flash it around, but maybe next time.
All right.
Um,
Well, thank you
so
so much.
again, love to have you back. Sophia, I'd love to have you just to talk about modeling and how modeling can actually heal the soul and the spirit. So would love to have you back again. As for
Absolutely.
anyone who is listening to us, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate our viewers.
Thank
And
you. Get
thank
your
you, Jessie.
tickets this Saturday, 1 to 5, Burb Hotel, Natick, Mass. Be there or be square. Bye, Diana.
That's
Thank you.
it.